Everybody starts an off-grid build with the same question. How many solar panels do I need? Wrong question. Panels are cheap now. The inverter is basically a commodity. The part that decides your whole budget, and the part almost every video on YouTube gets wrong, usually because they're getting paid to sell you one, is the battery. So forget shopping for a second. Let's talk about what a battery really does inside your system. Because once you understand how it behaves, you stop paying for storage you were never going to use. So here's the first thing nobody explains. Your battery bank is your fuel tank. That part's true, but it's a strange fuel tank. A real tank gives you every gallon in it, whether you sip it or floor it. This one doesn't. The harder you pull from a battery, the less it actually gives you back. That's not a defect, and it's not a bad battery. It's physics. The same physics that decides how big a bank you need to buy. And to see it, you only need one rule off the wall of a 9th grade science class. Voltage equals current times resistance. V equals I times R. Write it on your hand if you have to, because it explains almost everything a battery does. Every battery has a little bit of resistance inside it. Small, but real. And the moment you start pulling current through that resistance, some of your voltage disappears. Pull a little and the drop is tiny. Pull a lot, fire up a well pump, a microwave, an air compressor, and the voltage sags hard. Your battery still has energy in it. You just can't get to all of it at that speed. That's the strange fuel tank in action. And it's why the number stamped on the side of the battery is not the number you actually design around. So let's talk about that label number, the amp hours or the kilowatt hours printed on the box. Treat it as the brochure, not the bank balance. 3 things quietly take a cut before you ever see a usable one. First, depth of discharge. You don't drain a battery to empty without shortening its life, so a slice stays off limits by design. Second, temperature. A cold battery hands back less than a warm one, and most off-grid banks don't live in a climate-controlled room. Third, round-trip efficiency. Every trip in and back out of the battery loses a little to heat. Stack those 3, and the real usable number is meaningfully smaller than the sticker. Design around the sticker, and you come up short on the exact night you needed it most. Now, here's why all of that matters for your wallet. Of the 3 big components, panels, inverter, battery, 2 of them have quietly become commodities. Panels are cheaper per watt than they've ever been. Inverters are a mature, competitive market. The battery bank is the one that didn't get cheap. On most real off-grid builds, storage is the single most expensive line item, often more than the panels and the inverter combined. So every one of those hidden haircuts we just talked about isn't a technical footnote, it's money. Oversize the bank because you designed around the sticker instead of the usable number, and you don't waste a little. You waste it on the most expensive thing in the entire system. So how do you not overpay for the most expensive part? You size it to what you actually use, not to a round number that felt safe. And almost everyone gets this backwards. They pick a battery size first, then hope their loads fit inside it. Do it the other way. Start with one honest number. How much energy you really burn in a day, watt hour by watt hour. That single number is the first domino. It sizes the bank, which sizes the panels, which sizes everything downstream. Guess it, and every number after it is a guess too. Measure it, and the whole design falls into place, at the smallest cost that actually covers you. And here's the part that takes the pressure off. You don't have to buy the whole bank on day 1. Storage is the one part you can add to over time, if you plan for it from the start. The catch is that word, plan. Set your system voltage and your wiring for the bank you'll eventually want, not just the one you can afford this month. Do that, and you can start smaller and grow it as your budget allows. Same architecture, no rework. Skip that planning, and adding capacity later means tearing out wiring, swapping components, and paying twice. Phase it on purpose, and storage goes from the thing that blocks your build to the thing that grows with it. Now, a fair question. If this saves you money, why don't more videos lead with it? Follow the incentive. A lot of solar content is built to move a specific product, the one the channel gets paid to sell. Teaching you to buy less of the most expensive component is the opposite of that business model. Ours is simpler. We'd rather be the place that tells you the truth about sizing than the place that sells you a bigger battery than you need. When we do point you toward gear, it's the right-sized gear, and we'll send you to the cheaper option, even when there's nothing in it for us. The understanding is the product, not the unit. So here's where to start, and it's free. There's a load calculator at beginnersolar.com that walks you through your real daily energy use, one appliance at a time, and hands you that first domino number, what you actually burn in a day. That's the number every other decision hangs on. Take it, and you're already ahead of most people building off-grid. And if you want the rest of it, the sizing, the whole system, tell me what you're building. Drop your setup in the comments. Your loads, your climate, your budget. I'll take real ones and size them on camera, right here. You bring the build, I'll bring the math.